Chris, what is our fifth topic today?
This is from Akshat. Hey, John and crew. So the reported runtime of Doctor Strange 2 is the same as that of Spider-Man No Way Home. That is 148 minutes. I'm honestly pleased to hear this. I felt Batman at 3 hours was a bit too long. No Way Home with 148 minutes was perfectly paced. What do you guys think about this? Thanks, and bring on the filthy.
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in. And here's the thing. There is no time that is too long or too short. That is a standard thing. 3 hours is not too long, depending on the movie. And it's not even about the quality of the movie. You can have a great movie, but if you start to make it too long, it lessens its greatness, right? So 3 hours for some movies is the perfect runtime. For some, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. For some, it's 90 minutes. That's the perfect optimal runtime for it. So it doesn't really matter. However, in how many Marvel movies are there now? Like 25, 26?
I think it's 28 now.
28. Of the 28 Marvel films, Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness, is going to be one of the longest they've ever done. According to the new news reports coming out, only these three films are longer.
It'll be the 28th, I think.
It'll be the 28th. Only Eternals, Infinity War, and Endgame will be longer MCU movies than Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness. This comes from the folks over at That's Not It At All. I lost my quote graphic. Sorry about that, guys.
Comes from Wong himself.
But Wong himself. Basically, the thing is this. There's a ticketing website that has put out that it's going to be 2 hours and 28 minutes. These are generally reliable when we see these on ticketing sites because they generally do have this information. So let's go on the assumption right now that this is accurate, 2 hours 20. That puts it at the same runtime as Spider-Man No Way Home, tying it for the fourth longest film ever out of the 28 films in the MCU. Now, you're right. The person who writes in is saying, when you consider everything that's got to happen in this movie, there is going to need a little bit more breathing room. Like if we're going to see not only the hero's journey of Doctor Strange, if we're going to get a good subplot with Wong, which is what it looks like, we got America Chavez in here, so it looks like you're going to want to introduce that character, give a little bit of breadth to that. We've obviously gotten an Illuminati, you're going to want to give a little bit of time to that. What the hell is going on with Wanda? You're going to need to give a little bit of time to that. Like, there seems to be a lot of moving pieces to this, and so being one of the longest MCU movies they've ever done seems oddly appropriate. Now, that doesn't mean the movie's any good. It doesn't mean the opposite. The runtime is the runtime. We won't know if this is the right runtime for this movie until we see this movie. But having not seen it yet, it does feel like an appropriate runtime for this. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't going to be surprised if we heard 2 hours and 35, 2 hours and 40. I mean, right. I honestly wouldn't have been surprised by that. Coming in right around 2.5 hours sounds pretty rational and reasonable to me right now. Rob, we're seeing the runtime. What do you think for you, if anything, this tells you about the movie we're about to get? Are you surprised at the length that we're getting it at? And where's your anticipation level right now for Doctor Strange 2?
Well, first of all, my anticipation level's here. The only thing that I wish is that John Schnepp could see it because, how much you love Doctor Strange. But, John, I this movie looks bonkers. I mean, I think the level of bonkersness is something I'm looking forward to. Like, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know what's happening. I have no idea. It just looks like it's a lot of fun, really intriguing. All the cameos, the way they're going to use them are interesting to me. What are the ramifications for the wider MCU? It's funny. I think when I watch trailers for genre movies, there's got to be an intellectual component. I'm not just like, wow, cool, look at the action, look at the superheroes. I need something that intrigues me from an intellectual standpoint. Believe it or not, this movie really does. I'm like, wow, they're dealing with multiple levels of reality. How does that work in the larger context of things? What does that mean to Dr. Stephen Strange? How is he going to be left because of this experience? There's so much going on here, and as a Marvel fan, that I want to know, how does it all tie in? Is the multiverse different from alternate timelines that we've seen in Loki? How does that all work? I don't know. I just know that this movie opens on May 5th, which is getting closer every day, and I can't wait to see it. And what was the question?
But I mean, but is the runtime appropriate for
Oh,
you?
yeah.
What do you think it tells you
No,
about the
I mean,
movie?
look, I'll watch these movies for 4 hours if they're good. I mean, it seems to me that of all of these movies, that both Spider-Man No Way Home, just because the amount of characters in them, like you said, let's just not have cameos. Just like, oh, look, it's an appearance of so-and-so.
For no reason.
Just, oh, look, I don't want to see a bunch of people parade through and you're like, they wave. As long as these characters have a reason for being there, that's what I care about. And that obviously takes up screen time. So the longer a movie like this is, it makes me hope, at least, that the characters have meaningful scenes that give them a reason to be in this story. And I think apparently they seem to be doing that with this.
You mentioning wish Snep was around to see this. I want to show this to everybody. This was at the first Doctor Strange. This is what the world premiere of the first Doctor Strange. And there's us with Snep there. We went to go see it together. I just remember how hyped he was to watch that movie, man.
Because that was one of his favorite superheroes.
Yeah, it was one of his favorite characters, and he loved the movie so much.
Yeah, he did.
He loved that movie so much. It was all the bonkersness that he wanted to have in it, and yeah, it would have been great if he could have been. Hey, at least he saw the first one.
Yep.
So glad he had a chance to see the first one. Anyway, Chris, we're hearing this. This is a long movie. Mm-hmm. Clocking in about getting close to that 2.5 hour mark.
Yeah.
It is the fourth longest one they've ever done. What do you think this runtime tells us, if anything, about maybe some of the things we can expect to see in the film? Are you taken aback by the runtime? Did you think it would be longer, shorter? What are your thoughts on this right now?
This is pretty much on the mark for me because we got a lot of ground to cover here, right? We've got multiverses. We've got multiple places to visit. So obviously, it's going to take a little more time than your run-of-the-mill Marvel film. I think a movie is as long as it needs to be, typically. I'm hoping we go into this and yeah, it's not member berries. It's not just a whole bunch of cameos for the sake of cameos. But I'm hoping that this is tying into the greater Marvel universe. We are kind of wrapping up a lot of storylines. We're making everything feel a bit more connected. We're probably going to take care of some of the continuity issues that we have from, Sony, Fox, other things. That's a lot to handle. So this runtime absolutely makes sense to me. Guys, we're talking about the first movie, so I just want to bring up, again, my best friend Megan in the chat. She did Scott Derrickson's Wrap Gift, this beautiful comic image of him reading a Doctor Strange book. It's incredible. She's so talented. Commissioned her for art. My wedding anniversary is May 5th. And this is what we're doing. I'm hyped about this movie. It's going to be great, I think. And I'll sit through, if I needed to, I'd sit through a 4-hour Doctor Strange movie. I love this character, and I think the Multiverse of Madness is going to be really, really fun.
Well, now let's go over and take a look to see what was written by CBR. According to Ingresso.com, a Brazilian ticketing website, the upcoming Marvel Cinematic Universe blockbuster clocks in at 1 hour or 148 minutes or 2 hours, 28 minutes. If that runtime is accurate, it would make the Multiverse of Madness the fourth longest movie in the MCU, beaten only by Avengers Infinity War, Eternals, and Avengers Endgame. It also puts Doctor Strange's latest adventure on par with the recent Spider-Man No Way Home. Since the film is reportedly undergoing reshoots, there's a possibility that the length could change as the release date draws closer. Given the sheer scale of the Multiverse of Madness concept, and lengthy runtime feels almost essential. Following on from the events of No Way Home, Doctor Strange is forced to confront the consequences of his actions after he tears down the barrier between the universes. The Master of the Mystic Arts will seemingly need to defeat sinister variants of himself as well as Scarlet Witch, who only has grown in power since the discovery of the Darkhold in WandaVision. And that came to us from CBR. So, 2 hours, 28 minutes. And as they're pointing out, now they're pretty much wrapping up the finishing of the reshoots at this point. And I don't know if they're going to extend the time or not, but I suppose it is possible that this runtime could get adjusted up a few minutes or down either way. If it's going to adjust anywhere, I'm assuming it might go up. So, but I don't think it's going to catch those other three films, but still one of the longest MCU films ever. Only 3 have been longer than it. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that's right around where you thought it was going to be? What does that tell you about the film, if anything at all? Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, we want to take a moment and thank a sponsor of today's video, HelloFresh. So guys, look, my wife Ann and I were both working professionals, so we know how tricky, difficult, and time-consuming it can be to try to eat properly and prepare your own meals at home. And that's why, like over a year ago, we started using HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. I mean, you skip the trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and probably most importantly, affordable. HelloFresh offers the flexibility you need to easily customize your orders online or right in the app. Easily change your delivery day, food preferences, and plan size, or skip a week whenever you need to. HelloFresh is 72% cheaper than a restaurant meal of the exact same quality, and you can save on average over $65 a month when you order HelloFresh instead of going grocery shopping. So guys, I'm telling you, whether you are single or have a family, you are going to love HelloFresh. So go to HelloFresh.com/Campea16 and use the promo code Campea16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. That's again, HelloFresh.com/Campea16 and use that promo code Campea16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.